Hey, folks, Rick Berube here on this Thursday, okay, in lovely January. We're almost at the end of the first month. I hope you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. I know Liz is. Let me just introduce Liz Lucas from our Sahara branch. Liz. And the studio audience goes crazy for you, as usual. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, Liz. Well, I know you, and I'm sure a lot of people on this Facebook Live do too, but just give me an idea of how long you've been doing this and all that good stuff. A little about yourself.
So I've been in the business 17 years, started in 2005, and I was previously in the casino business and decided that after I had my daughter, I didn't want to pawn her off on being babysat all the time. So I wanted a job that I can be flexible, and then decided I'll try real estate. So in 2005, got my license, started working. The market was great. Then obviously 2008, 2009, 2010 happened, and I still stayed afloat, kept working with the relo and stuff like that to keep my business going. After that, I started getting into listening to like Mike Ferry and learning to, trying to figure out how to prospect. And, they said, you need to call the expires and all that. So I started doing all that. And after that, I was with Money World, and then Prudential bought Money World. And then Berkshire Hathaway bought Prudential. But during Prudential, we went to I was at the Sahara office, and you guys started the Success Center, and we were like guinea pigs to test it out, right? So
Yeah.
at that point, that's when I really started learning how to call, and all my business was just like doing open houses and sending letters and all that kind of stuff. But I never knew how to call, nor was I comfortable doing it. But once I went to Success Center, then I learned how to call. I was super confident and started growing my business. Now I most of my business is all repeat business, all my sphere, and so it's just been blowing up ever since.
Yeah, do I have permission to tell them a little story about your first couple of weeks there?
Sure.
Okay, so how can I say this? Well, I remember when you came in with your headset. You had your headset, and you had all the. Okay, so Liz's idea of a CRM was a whole bunch of notebook stickies. Little stickies, a whole bunch of those little stickies. But but I have to compliment you, Liz. You came in, you kept coming, you got better, you got better. Now, like the last time I interviewed you, you said the best line. It's great waking up in the morning, know exactly what I have to do today in order to achieve my goal. Remember that? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
That's comforting, isn't it? Confident.
Yeah, it's very confident, and I'm super confident now. And it's practice. Like you say, you guys always preach. It's practice. You have to do it every day, and be confident and talk to the buyers and sellers and tell them the truth. When you have your clients, and telling them the truth, pre-qualifying them. Don't worry about what they're going to do or if they're not going to work with you, because if they're not going to work with you, you don't want to work with them either. So obviously they, have another ulterior motive. So what I do is the more you prospect, the more you get, talk to people, the more you are going to have other deals, and you don't have to worry about the ones that are not going to work with you. Right.
Because you have a pipeline of people, which gives you confidence, competence. You feel great about yourself. And
Yes.
yeah, so tell them a little about your journey, because, like you said, when you started, you were a little uncomfortable and a little awkward, and then you jumped in and you started getting great results. So tell them a little about the process for you, like how long did it take and when did you start seeing results and all that good stuff, please?
So it was like, what was it, 2014 or 2016 when we started the Success Center? Do you remember?
Oh, no, it was late 13, early 14. Yeah.
Okay, so 14. So that's when I really started prospecting. I had no idea what a dialer was. I had no idea what Red X was. I had no idea what Cole was, but I learned all that through you guys and all the other agents that were there, and everybody kind of helped each other out, which was awesome. So then I wanted to buy in Mojo, which is a dialer. I want to subscribe it to Cole and Red X to get all the expireds. And then as I went in the office, I had a goal every day. I had 25 contacts I needed to make. I usually did that within a 2-hour period. And then I just put everybody in my database. I kept good notes. The key is you got to keep good notes when you talk to people, and you have to call them back. You have to follow up because, like you always say, the fortune is in the follow up, right?
Mhm.
So have to follow up with these people. I would be very good at following up, took good notes. And if someone said, oh, my dog, I don't know, my dog had knee surgery. When I called him back, I'm like, hey, Mary, how's your puppy doing? I remember you telling me he had knee surgery. And then people, it makes you feel like they're family again when you talk to that person, like you're not just a call, right?
Mm.
And then, so, it took me a couple, probably half a year, 6 months to really get it down. And then at that point, it was just, we had a big group that would just show up in the office. And it was awesome. Everybody just prospected every morning. And then my business just kept growing and growing and growing. And then, now it's just like, it's crazy. It's busy, busy, busy. Oh,
Yes, so busy. You've got some good little real estate investments. I know you're moving out of that big house you sold, and you're moving into
yeah.
another. Isn't it nice to have options, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Your lovely manager, Amanda, has said, what does she say here? I think she said, "Yay, Liz." Yeah, "Yay, Liz" is what she said.
Yeah,
Okay. And
Amanda is amazing. Suzanne's amazing. And then we have Mary who joined our management team. She's phenomenal. So I have the best support. And you, of course, Rick, you and your coaching with me too. And it's the support. You can have the support, but if you don't apply the support and use it and apply it to your business and be serious about it, then you're going to fail. It's not going to be nobody's fault but your own. So
right,
you just have to do it. You have
right.
to be committed and know your goals
The
and
word.
just apply.
It's the one thing we can't teach you is commitment. You either have it or you
Yeah,
don't. And
right. So
obviously, Liz, you had it. So, and
yeah,
that's a tribute to you. I mean, look at let's give an idea. What is your goal this year? What do you want to do in transactions?
35.
35. So
35.
call it three a month. That's three closings a month. That's
Yeah,
I mean, 3 weeks each month you're having a closing and you get 1 week off for good behavior.
there you go. Hmm.
All right.
2021 was my best year ever in 17 years. I think it was everybody's best year, but it was my best year ever.
Mind
I
sharing?
mean, yeah, I did 27 transactions. I had 16 sellers, 11 buyers. My average price was like 420,000, and my gross GCI was 235,000.
Nice.
Yeah, so I know the best I've ever had. So
And people
um,
ask me all the time why I do this. That's why I do this because it's just people go, well, money isn't everything, and I go, money isn't everything, but money makes nothing worse.
right, exactly.
I love, and people tell me when I say that they go, but you have to pay more taxes, but you have more money,
Yeah, you
pay more.
do.
That's just a
Yeah,
crazy.
you're not, like you always told us, you're never going to go anywhere. Get paid what you get paid to do what you do. Yeah, I will admit a lot of times it's very stressful. I had a lot of my sellers selling and buying.
Mhm.
In January, I had probably 6 transactions where three of them were selling, 3 of them were buying, and it was very hectic because you got to navigate that through, and so
Mm.
it all worked out. It all worked out. It always does. And I just learned not to, as much as I get emotional in my transactions, I try not to get too emotional in them because it's going to always work out no matter what at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Well, I think when you say you have it, okay. So there's a fine line between attachment, okay, and being okay. A little. How can you say, like, when you're a professional, you can't be fully attached, although you're very attached. Like, you used the word family a few times already, and I think
Yeah,
repeat and referral business is the way it is because of the
right.
customer service that you give people, which is incredible. So
Exactly. I think most of my business, probably 90% of it was all my repeat or my people that I know. Um, I had one girl. I was on Facebook, on a group on Facebook, and I think it was Christian ladies group on Facebook. You know how they have the groups on Facebook? Well, this girl was reaching out saying, it was early in the year, reaching out saying how she her agent's been putting in so many offers and she can't find a house. And does anybody have any advice? So I'm like, well, I'm going to message her. So I messaged her and I said, give me a call. I think I can help you. So prior to that, I just put my client into a new track home. And I do sell a lot of new track homes too. Those are awesome. And I said, I know this is not the area that you want, but I think I can get you. I know they're releasing another house. Do you want to go look at it? So of course, I made sure she didn't have a buyer broker agreement with her other agent, and I took her down there. And sure enough, we wrote an offer the next day, and I was her hero. So it's just a matter of you don't know where you're going to find these people. So I would have never reached out, but I did, and it worked. So she's so happy.
That's great. And you made her day. Look at now she's got the place she wants because
Yeah.
you made that extra call, which is great. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. This business, people, I always wonder, like I was talking to some agents yesterday in California, and I always say, what I hear a lot of times is I don't want to be too salesy. I always crack up at that. I go, so what's your goal? Non-salesy? You're a salesperson.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying be obnoxious, but asking people if you can help them. The worst they can say is no. What if they say yes?
Right. The key is when you're prospecting, I've learned that they say no in the beginning, then you just start at first I would just stop and hang up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I learned from you guys that you continue with the questions. The more you talk to them, then they feel a little bit more comfortable with you, that you're not the typical, this is, discover calling because you got your credit limit raised or something. I hate those calls too, but you just have to talk to them like they're human beings and treat them like they're human beings, because they are. And whether I'm selling a $100,000 condo or a $2.1 million home, I'm treating everybody the same.
Right.
So you have to keep your skills and keep it all the same.
Right. Well, you're just described as the reflex no. You call somebody, when do you plan on moving? I'm not. You're not. I'm in a great neighborhood. So I'm curious how long you're there. And you keep talking to them, building rapport. Okay, that's the second described. And then all of a sudden, you know what? It's funny you're calling, because I was thinking about moving back to Chicago to the grandkids in about 6 to 9 months, right? So you never get the truth out of them until you're in rapport. And you have to get the reflex no to get to rapport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Of course.
And that's all stuff that you learned by doing it, and then it becomes second nature. So now I have to ask you, and be brutally honest now, because there are people out there that are saying, I can hear it in their heads right now. Okay, Liz, when she started, she used to call the expireds and the FSBOs and around listings and sales, but now is she, and if the answer is yes, just say it, is she now mostly just relying on her sphere, or does she make those other calls too? How would you answer that question?
My sphere. So I guess my biggest thing, and I was going to say this at the end when you ask the questions, but my biggest thing would be, my biggest downfall would be I didn't continue to prospect like I should, because I was busy and I had a lot of business coming to me. I just had 2 more people call me within the last 2 days that they were going to want to list their houses. So to me, it's like, okay, well, I got all this business coming in, so I don't need a call. But you know what? I do need a call, and I need to create time and carve time out. And even if it's for an hour, 20 people, I do need to still call, because there's other people that still need my help. And then if I do that on top of the ones I'm already getting, then I'll double my business, like I did this year. It was amazing. And then now I have a transaction coordinator, so that takes away all the paperwork headaches for me. I don't have to worry about that, and I could just focus on generate more business. But to answer your question, I was just mostly relying on my SOI. And then I do mail outs every month. I do a mail out every month. People get a postcard from me. They're great, and they're super cool postcards. I'll do the Golden Night calendars. I'll send those out when they come out. The football calendars I'll send out, and then I do my magnets with the yearly calendar. I'll do that at the end of the year. And then what I also do is I send out birthday cards. So if I can't get their birthday, or if I don't know their birthday, I'll ask title, like, hey, when you get their ID, would you just tell me the month and day, so I can I can put them in my calendar for birthdays, and then I have a separate notebook that I put all the birthdays in. And I go to dollar store, and you can get two, and they're really cute cards too. Go to the dollar store and you get a bunch of cards, two for $1, and you just have them all kind of preset, and they appreciate that.
They do. They do. Yeah. And Amanda says you rock, and Maria said go Liz.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Maria Martin, she's another rock star too, right? She's another early adapter at the success center.
So Maria, speaking of Maria, I will be reaching out to her shortly. I move next week, so it's been a super hectic. So once I get moved over to my son's and get a little settled, I'm going to be meeting with her she was in our meeting, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and get with her about my marketing and just really focus on what I'm not doing and start doing other stuff to promote myself and stuff like that.
She's definitely a rock star, just like you. That's for sure. So I love it. I love it. It's such a great company when you guys can get together and help each other, because a lot of companies think, I'm not going to help my competition. I really hate when I hear that.
I know. I have friends in other companies, and I say, well, don't they do this or this? And they're like, no, we're just kind of on our own. And I have a really good friend, and she's like, I feel bad like talking to my broker. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, my broker is like one of my best friends. So it's like, it's really weird because you just, we are fortunate. We are truly fortunate.
Yeah, just a tribute to the, to Mark and the culture he's created here. So, and Gordon and Maria and, myself a little. So I'll take a little credit there. All right. All right. Okay. So my favorite question for a rock star like yourself is, okay, so there's people listening that want to go to the next level or want to come out of the gate hot or want to have their best year ever. What would be the 3 best pieces of advice you'd give them?
I would say, even when you're busy, like I said, continue to generate. Don't let that do that first. Get it done first. Me personally, I like to prospect in the afternoon. That's just me. But you have to do that. You have to continue to do that, because if you don't, you'll go up with your hills and valleys of money. And that was always my problem, is I went in hills and valleys because I generated, and then I stopped because I was busy. Then I generated. So I would say, for sure, stay focused on generating business. Okay. Number 2, stick to what works for you. If you like open houses, be good at the open houses. Have a little system on what you're going to do. Make sure you put everybody in your database. Mail, like when I was coaching with Mike Ferry, my coach said, you've got to mail something to your SOI every month. They got to see your name. And I really believe I need to talk to them more. So you need to talk to your SOI as well as mailing them something, but stick to what works for you. So don't be all over the place. If you're going to farm, if you're going to do this, or if you're going to prospect, stick to what works for you. And then if you get busy, hire a transaction coordinator. Take that burden off. I didn't want to do it, but that really helped me to be better in helping my clients. So I didn't have that monkey on my back. Okay. Right. And then 3, I would say, have a plan your day, or plan your week, actually, and your month. But like Mark said, I love what he said, plan every day what you're going to do. And if you don't do that, don't kill yourself over it. The next day, just do what you have to do that day. And it's just like the Darren Hardy's the compound effect. That you continue to do it, and it will continue to work for you. You may not see it right now, but down the road you will see it. Just don't stop doing it. Don't stop doing it just because you're busy. And that was my biggest problem, is I would stop because I got so busy. So
yep. It's the old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Plan to fail. Exactly. Yeah. So
I love it. No, Mark's so right about that, for sure. The thing is that you have the schedule, you follow it. We've talked a lot about that in our coaching too. And right. You're right. If there's a day you don't achieve everything, you don't run into oncoming traffic. The next day you just get right back into it. And by the way, John Connolly also said, get busy.
I love John. John and Martina are right next door to me in my office. So they're great folks.
All right, Liz, awesome. Well, I know you're busy. You got moving going on. You got all kinds of stuff. And I really appreciate you taking your time out today. Thank you very much for doing that.
Of course. No, thank you, Rick. And thank you for all your support as well through your coaching and everything. You've really, really helped me. And I do appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. I love working with people like you. You're the best. All right, everybody. Woo! We'll do this next week. Thank you.
Good night.
Got it.